This is my first time ever in Rome. I've been to Italy before, but I've never been to Rome. And I gotta tell you, my mind was blown today. It was incredible. My neck is sore from looking at things, right? There's always something to see. Where I come from Quebec. I'm a proud Canadian. I come from Quebec, Canada. A historical site in Quebec can be measured in hundreds of years. Hundreds. I stood on a bridge today that was around 60 years before Christ. A bridge. And I'm thinking to myself as we're walking around Rome today, how amazing it is, this gathering of people, these ideas that are so new and bold in this historical and old place. So it's an honor to be here tonight speaking with you guys. I'm an adventurer. I'm sorry, I don't speak Italian. I wish I did. It's such a beautiful language, but this is the best I could do. I'm an adventurer. And when people hear I'm an adventurer, they automatically assume that I am an ocean rower or a sailor or a mountain climber. I'm none of those things. I'm a runner. And I run really, really long distances, sometimes across countries, occasionally across continents, in some of the most inhospitable places on earth, I got to tell you. You know, for me, adventure, I have this philosophy. There is an adventure in every one of us. An adventure to the human being throughout history and now and in the future is a way to not only learn about ourselves, it's to learn about other people, to learn about the collective of humanity, learn about people that perhaps you never otherwise would have. Now, I just finished a 2,000-kilometer run, 2,000 I ran across Mongolia as part of a new film project called To the Edge. The goal of the To the Edge film project is to use the running as a way to capture the stories of the people in the extraordinary places that I'm in. 2,000-kilometer swath of Mongolia that I ran across, I ran or walked every single step. So you do get to experience at ground level truly what everybody else experiences here. Typically in the places that I'm going, I'm in the most remote part of the country. Amazing stories of these amazing people that really you could only come across if you were on an expedition for this length of time. But that's why we're here. The places that I go, as I said before, are some of the most extreme climates on Earth. You know, this is a photograph of a thermometer. It was taken in Death Valley, California, when I did the first ever traverse of Death Valley National Park, North Park boundary to South Park boundary, 144 degrees Fahrenheit in the sand. Translation to Celsius, damn hot, right? Hot enough to melt the bottom of your running shoes. And the conditions that I'm running in, I don't run on roads. If there's a road, I'll take it. Don't get me wrong, I'll be on that road. But there are rarely roads where I go. This is what it looks like usually on what I'm running, on rocks and sand and dirt and whatever. And that's really hard on your body. Check this out. Well, it's the start of day, I think we're on day 7. And had another great day yesterday, got 70K in, 40 miles. But I've been nursing a blister while I've been out here. This is what it looks like. Check this out. Oh, I hope that you didn't enjoy the snacks at the break, right? Too much. Eh? You know? From the hottest places on Earth to the coldest places on Earth, I've actually been there. This is what running in Siberia looks like. Now, I'm not moving too fast because it's very cold, right? So I'm doing one of these. And in my sled is about 50 kilos of supplies, everything I need to be totally unsupported the entire journey across Siberia. Now, I've been to colder places than even this. As cold as this looks, there's a colder place. The top of the bottom of the world, the geographic South Pole is the coldest place I've ever been. 50 to 55 degrees below zero. I trekked for a little over a month, 33 days, 23 hours, and 55 minutes to a new world record from ocean to pole, unsupported with my 2 buddies. As you can see, the best part about polar exploration, you look like a 1980s rock star when you're doing it, right? That's Guns N' Roses and Poison and Motley Crue right there, yeah? So 33 days from the ocean to the pole. The South Pole is like 3,000 meters of altitude. So it's an uphill climb the entire way with katabatic winds blowing in your face all the time. 200 pounds, 100 kilos of supplies this time, including self-arrest gear. Should we fall into a crevasse, we could get ourselves out. But the most important piece of equipment I had in my sled was not the ice axes and the crampons or even the tent and the food. To me, it was the satellite equipment that I had that enabled me on a day-to-day basis to bring our expedition into classrooms all over the world and classrooms onto the expedition. Students were able to share in live communications with us while we were out there. Watch videos, enjoy some photographs, blah, blah, blah. Be part of the expedition. And a thought occurred to me when I was on the South Pole expedition. I'd already set in motion these educational projects where I'm out doing something and then sharing it with classrooms, and classrooms, again, virtually being there with me. But I thought, wouldn't it be extraordinary if someone that was 17 years old was doing what I was doing, if the sled was attached to them and they were trekking to the pole? You guys are here to do something incredible. Run an average of a marathon a day over the course of 6 days.
They're going to push beyond any perceived limits they've ever thought they've had. They're going to challenge themselves like never before.
Success in this will be measured by what you walk away saying, wow, I can't believe I learned that about myself.
This is one of the most incredible things they will ever experience in their life.
You know, as an adventurer, I'm asked all the time, which project are you the most proud of? Was it breaking the world record to the South Pole or running across the Atacama Desert or any one of these? I've done 17 expeditions. No. The adventure I'm the most proud of, the project which I take the most happiness from, is this, Impossible to Possible. It's an organization which I started. I'm the founder. I'm also a volunteer in this organization. I'm not paid for my work. And I donate all of my sponsorships to the activities of this organization. And what we do are these three words: inspire, educate, and empower youth all over the world. We use adventure as the landscape to tell a story. Young people communicating with young people. What you saw in that video was 5 young people between the ages of 16 and 21 that trained for 6 months and then went to the Bolivian Altiplano. They're on salt right now, not snow. They ran across the Bolivian Altiplano 35 kilometers a day for a week learning about chemistry, which, as far as I'm concerned, could have been the lamest subject on earth. Every one of our expeditions has a unique educational curriculum attached to it. So as these students were running across the Altiplano, they would gather salt or minerals, and they would provide it to our team. You can see our team on the left of researchers and university professors, and they are using our live satellite network to conduct a basic chemistry experiment from the Bolivian Altiplano in conjunction with our youth team with a classroom halfway around the world. And they're going to join in the chemistry experiment. You know what it was? Boiling water. So they're going to boil water with salt in it at 13,000 feet. These guys are going to boil water with salt in it at sea level and see who wins the race. Every expedition has a different theme. Every expedition is 100% free for the students that go on these expeditions. We went to the Amazon jungle. Again, a team of 4 youth challenging themselves, learning about biodiversity from the people who know biodiversity best, the people of the Amazon. But they learned extraordinary things about themselves while on this amazing adventure that they took. Check this out.
We're in the Amazon rainforest. It's pouring rain. It's exactly what I thought the rainforest would be. This has got to be the coolest day of my life. I'm on cloud 9 right now. This is awesome.
Jesse and Sierra in the central Amazon jungle, the furthest you could be away from anywhere, yet they're there. 16 and 17 years old, pushing themselves, challenging themselves, learning about a different culture, and sharing a curriculum day to day with our live satellite system and live website on biodiversity with students all over the globe. 20,000 students following along virtually on this last expedition. It's amazing. We've covered all sorts of topics. In the theme of what we've been speaking about tonight, we took a group of youth to Tunisia, and we studied water. Now, water, of course, we all know that the human body is comprised mainly of water. And when you're running a marathon a day across the sands of the Sahara, your body needs a lot of water. It starts to break down. Jill, one of the youth team members, found out how difficult it was to go for long periods of time without being hydrated. She shared those stories again with the students following along all over the globe who are hanging on their every word. With a live video conference, two-way street of communication, they're talking to each other, right? And she's saying to them, this is how vital water is to me. To the people of North Africa, clean drinking water is a desperate need. She challenged students across this technological medium in classrooms everywhere to do something. And so students from grade school right on up through high school with bake sales and organized running events like social entrepreneurial activities fundraised enough to build 2 water projects in 2 different regions. That's the power of youth. That's the power of technology. It's the power of experiential learning. Giving youth an opportunity to change the world on their own terms, right? Give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime, right? It's the same sort of idea with education. We hold education very dear. Now, the person you see here today, I'm very passionate about this stuff, obviously. I'm a volunteer in this, right? It's not like I'm making millions of bucks doing this. I do it because I love working with young people. I love working with youth, right? They say that some of the toughest journeys yield the greatest rewards. The idea for Impossible to Possible came from a very different place. The seeds of this organization came from the Sahara Desert. I'd like to show you one more video. Check this out.
It is the most unforgiving place on Earth. Over 3.5 million square miles. A vast wilderness. It is the Sahara Desert, with people and cultures as unpredictable as the landscape.
Running 50 miles a day, it's the challenge, it's going the distance, it's just pushing myself to my limits.
It's never been done. No one's ever run that far in that period of time.
That will be tough. It's a mental thing, I think.
Imagine running 50 miles per day for more than 100 days. In an unprecedented personal challenge, 3 ultra runners, good friends, test physical strength and mental toughness, running across the entire Sahara Desert.
They're such high-end athletes. They're used to pushing themselves, but they're going to be pushing their bodies more than they ever have in the past.
We've had injury, we've had sickness.
Sorry, dude.
The best thing to do would be to stop for the day, but we have to cover some miles today.
Any Americans found there without proper paperwork are going to be considered spies, liable to execution.
You're going to have to make the best decision for us as a team.
It's so difficult for me because the personalities are so different.
I don't want to push us into the ground, obviously, but I'll push us damn close.
This is, a lot tougher than you could have ever thought.
You can do this. You don't want to quit.
It's okay.
We saw a young boy, 7 or 8 years old, in the desert alone, fending for himself while his dad was a 2 days walk away to get water. That's the water situation. I mean, it's so much bigger an issue than I would have ever thought.
Narrated by executive producer Matt Damon and directed by James Moll. A personal and compelling journey into the world's most mysterious wilderness.
The purpose of the 3 of us coming here was to learn more about each other, to learn about the people of the Sahara, and to do something that hasn't been done before.
They all 3 agreed that if one runner went down, they would be out of the expedition.
I thought your commitment was different than that.
When is the end?
The end is when we get to Cairo.
When Africa is one, and we sing this song, show me the way home. Go high, show me the way home. It don't hurt no more.
It will be a life-changing experience, and not just for the 3 runners, for everybody who's along on this journey.
Alrighty, so in 2006, 2007, my two best friends and I set out on a journey that everyone said was impossible, it could not be done, don't even bother trying. We ran across Africa through the Sahara Desert, 7,500 in the sand. That's like running across Canada in the sand, and it's plus 50 out every day, right? 111 days, 70 kilometers every single day, average for 111 days with no days off. Most difficult part of the expedition, 2 showers. And so you can imagine how stinky we were, right, by the end. But you weren't going to get lost in a sandstorm because your crew could always find you. They didn't need to see you. They could smell you, right? Yeah. But seriously, you know, we spent this entire 111 days learning about the seriousness of the water crisis in North Africa, for sure. We had Matt Damon's film crew following us. But more importantly, we learned extraordinary things about ourselves while on this journey. You know, when I reached the edge of the Red Sea, my wife was there to join us at the end of the expedition, and she said, what are the first words that came to your mind completing the expedition? I said, you know what it is, babe? It's no limits. And she said, what, no limits to you? I said, no, we, as human beings, have no limits to what we're capable of doing. I'll leave you with this. When I reached the Red Sea, after 111 days of running, I only started running 3 years before that day. And I was a pack-a-day, 2-pack-a-day smoker 7 years before reaching the edge of the Red Sea. We all can accomplish anything we want to. It was that day that I decided I was going to spend the rest of my life giving youth the opportunity to realize within themselves they can achieve anything they set their minds to. They can learn from these expeditions modeled on Running the Sahara, share educational programming which is valuable and valid to youth all over the world, and do it for a bigger reason than themselves. Do it for the notion that the impossible is possible. And that if we believe that, that's when we're freed from all boundaries. Thank you very much. Thank you.